If you guys have been trying to make sourdough and fail every single time, try this because literally I've been able to make sourdough every single week and it was one of my goals for 2025 and I can finally say I've mastered it. You're going to start by zeroing out your scale and adding 250 grams of your active starter, and when to know that it's active, it's going to be doubled in size. And then you're going to add 725 grams of water and mix that together. After your starter is mixed with your water, you're going to go in and add 25 grams of salt before we add the flour, mix that up, and then you're going to add 1,000 grams of flour and start mixing it together until you get this shaggy dough. I start by using my bread whisk to do this, and then I slowly move to just mixing it with my hands. I just want to make sure that everything's really mixed well together before we move on to the next step. I like to transfer my dough into a clean bowl. This is honestly just for aesthetic purposes, so skip that if you guys don't care. And then I cover it with some saran wrap and let it sit for 30 minutes before we do our first round of stretch and folds. If you're someone like me who likes to have their kitchen tidy, this is the perfect time to clean up while you're waiting for that 30-minute timer to go off. And once that timer went off, I did my first round of stretch and folds, and I like to do about 8 this time because I like to really get the gluten stretched out. After that, I just cover it up, wait another 30 minutes, and go ahead and do my second round of stretch and folds. You can do 4 to 6 for this one, whatever you start feeling like the dough is starting to firm up a little bit. For this third set, we're actually going to do coil folds, and this is my favorite kind because you just kind of let the dough roll underneath itself. I cover it, 30-minute timer went off, and then I did my final and last round of coil folds. Once I'm satisfied with how it's looking, I did a little poke test to make sure it wasn't sticky. I covered it up and put it in a warm area for 2 hours. The dough, as you can see, doubled in size. I just poured it out onto my counter, and I'm going to split this into 2 sections because we have enough dough to make 2 loaves. As you can tell, this is the perfect consistency. The dough is not sticky at all. I like to basically spread it out, and then I fold it into 3s and then roll it up kind of like a little ball. Then I do the same thing on the other side, and then I kind of do these little push pulls to basically build some tension into the dough. While that's sitting for 20 minutes on the counter, I just go and flour my little baskets. Repeat the same step I just did, except when we're done this time, we're going to pop them into our baskets. Once they're in our baskets, you want to cover them and refrigerate them for 2 hours. Once they're in the fridge, you're going to let them sit in there for 2 hours, and they're just basically on a proof in here. I went and did some errands while this was happening, and then I basically let that 2 hours pass and got ready to do my design. I put my dough on a little piece of parchment paper, that way it's just easy to transfer into my Dutch oven. My Dutch oven is preheating in the oven right now at 500 degrees for 30 minutes before I put this in. I did some scoring, popped it in. You guys can add an ice cube. I didn't today because I was just trying to experiment to see what would work good. I always do the 7-minute score. It just is the best way to get that big burst in your dough. I cut it open. I should have waited a little bit longer, but I just had to show you guys how good it looks.